Hello there folks, this is Ferengi on board again. Welcome to my YouTube channel, a place where I discuss different topics, different ideas and dive into them through my introspection and acquired wisdom throughout my life. Even if I'm not 30 years of age, I'm still I can still consider and will still support the idea that age doesn't necessarily mean or isn't necessarily a point of limitation when it comes to experiencing life, okay, and wisdom that can be acquired. Now, even if I discuss on different topics like spirituality, dream interpretation, and other topics that people might not find answers to easily, I simply prefer diving deeper for people and helping them understand different things so that, they actually have a new trampoline, a new aspect in life that helps them and propels them towards the answers that they came here to find. Okay, now the purpose of this video is to continue about my video game and slow progress that I'm doing with the characters that the player will be fighting against in the personal battle system that I want to develop. The idea is that I'm using Yanfly's plugin, okay, and let's actually close this and actually let's start using some scripts, because why not? Let's go into this, let's open images, let's open actually faces, let's open another one, journeys through consciousness, images, we need another one of faces. Now let's go in here and let's go into data, most likely. Oh wait, this is the backup, one of the backups that I have. Okay, so we need to go to the audio, to the SE, in case I ever need to copy any of the so-called thousands of sounds that I have bought through literally dozens of DLCs, and I have to actually create for this character, at least for today, this and this character. But for this character I have to create the necessary gabs, or let's call them little texts, for the last two playable characters that the player can experience the game through. So let's take actually delete this one because it's not needed. I actually put it into the corresponding script. And now let's take these, okay, and put them into here. So we're gonna have dots. This character, I'm not gonna use her as is, but I really like the way she is. She's actually cute. And now I will require the character called Ferengi, whose faces I actually have to view. Now I have to copy the name of the file to actually replace it in the Gab name requirements. Okay, and how does everything work? Well, usually I present a stepping animation for characters before they speak, because I believe it's an interesting thing. It's not necessarily obligatory, I don't always use it, or I may actually use it, but through the details that I present, it may actually end up as not being necessarily observable, and it is actually really tedious if you're doing a visual novel, but come again, it is just some little detail that I'm adding. So this event, all the characters of so-called difficulty 1 will be represented by one single event, whose switches will be chosen by the player when they choose the certain character, or depending on difficulty, when the character is chosen for the player. There will be two ways of actually challenging and fighting the enemies, and that will be for the first two difficulties you can choose the enemies, and the other difficulties the enemies will be chosen at random. Or you can actually choose one character to fight for each difficulty, resulting in 5 total characters to defeat for this part only of the game, which is only one part of the 5 main parts of the game. Now let's actually center this a bit and let's actually start experiencing things, shall we? So the as usual, the player will always be the second, and even in greetings, the character herself will actually greet the character. In this case, request balloon will be balloon number 0, because number 0 is exclamation mark. Okay. Um, let's actually see through the countless files that I have. Okay, so let's actually take this one, and we shall put it in Haira Myokain. Actually, I think would be Myochain. Okay, she's a priestess, one of the easy difficulty characters that the player will fight. I'm just willing to create the first 5 characters and then work towards the chaining of the events, and then test the characters to see what mistakes I may have done in the scripting, and then correct them and actually see how the mechanics would actually work. And I'm also interested in at least replicating a state machine, at least for now, because I'm not working with, you know, like real life coding. So now it will be sings to herself no, happy giggle, so that I have an idea of what that is. And it's called GSG 1 voice 1 pleasure 001 pleasure 01. So it's 111. Okay, a magical number. Okay, I can actually put I can actually make a wish. Okay, play sounds, audio manager. Oh my fucking god, how many times did I actually write audio manager with a small m? I actually have to check this out and see, as the smallest such mistake that you make, well, the point is it's not gonna be understood and it will be returned as an error. Now the point is it's not going to say where the error is, so we actually have to manually find it. And as I said, I have actually found another one in here. So, oh wait, why I choose not to use the event click buttons instead is because I want everything in this to be as optimized as possible. And if you use these actually have to be turned into the code, and it actually is slightly less optimized. And considering the fact that usually dozens of processes will actually go on at the same time through my game, I actually want each and every bit of optimization that's possible. And since JavaScript is a language that simply does not support multitasking, everything is performed by one single thread, the point is I want all, and specifically all, the bit of you know, optimization that I can grab. Okay, so audio manager, play sounds. Okay, so in order to play in the sound file, you need to create an object in which you load the specifications that you find in the you know, event function that allows you to manipulate the parameters respectively, like the volume, pitch and pan, okay, which you can actually see in here. Okay, oh wait, this one actually was, oh yes, pleasure 01. Okay, okay, so exclamation mark, happy giggle, play sound. Okay, now I'm gonna actually present her in a very positive way, just like I have done with the others. And I'm gonna take this one because I don't really want to search events 796 again. Okay, so I'm gonna add this one. Okay, this is Mog's face expression plugin or something like that. It allows you to you know, create different facial expressions for your characters, which is a feature I use from time to time. And now that I have taken this, okay, here comes the Gab, and in this one, greetings to you, fighter. Okay, let's say noble fighter, because it sounds a bit more noble as the character is. And yes, she actually has her eyes closed in the index 1. Okay, because the indexes start from 0, so the first face is index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, that's how things actually work in programming. Everything usually starts from index 0. I heard that Lua, for example, starts from 1, but that's only something that I heard, not experienced. Okay, so she will still have text color 1 because she's a priestess, and I prefer her to have a blue color for her writing, not because necessarily she's a priestess, but that's what I felt, and to this character I feel a somewhat dark blue is actually gonna be fitting to a certain extent. Now all these come, the sound, then comes the gab. Okay. Alright, let's see. Let's actually add in here a this dot weight, actually set weight mode balloon. Everything that you put in a script box is gonna be triggered at the same time. Also in JavaScript you don't necessarily need to put the semicolon, because the system will actually do that for you, but it is actually a good practice to add it. Now I want this balloon to be shown and everything in the script to actually wait for this to end before the gap occurs, because the more events items that you add and they do not have a wait function, they are actually put into a waiting pile which has less priority. Everything that has a wait function will be executed, and when the system has enough resources, it will actually use, and it will actually put resources towards those things in the waiting pile. That's how JavaScript actually works, and that is the reason why you're probably adding too many things into your events at the same time to happen, and why you might actually find yourself that, hey, they're not actually triggering when they should. I've actually gone through this and it took me a long while to realize. Okay, now in this part we actually have to remove the face given by the script, and the face is exactly this one with the closed eyes, and we have to use this dot remove face. This function is only available only through the plugin. And now we have the player, okay, who steps before their quote, and they okay, semicolon, they have no sound of their own, because I have much less male quotes, which I prefer preserving to the characters. Okay, request balloon, let's actually say 3, why not? And 3 is actually heart balloon. Set weight mode, why not? The character named Ferengi will actually have orange writing. Greetings to you, priestess. Greetings to you, priestess. Okay, and now that I have this, let's see. Actually, phase number 1 should be suitable, even if they have eyes closed. The player will be not facing the player's character will be standing with their back towards the player, so using these face expressions is not gonna serve anything, because the character is not facing the player actually. Okay, only the enemies that you are facing will actually do that. Okay, show gap, good. Now we're gonna actually take these into account and put them in here. Stepping animation, okay. These ones are no longer important. Okay, let's copy her name and actually put it into here. And indeed, Okay. Wait, I didn't copy literally everything. Actually, let's put this one in here, shall we? And actually, let's also put this one in here. And let's see. My name is Haira Myochain. Alright, let's actually delete this part. Okay. Okay, so it should be index 0 because it's the other face. Alright, then the next quote will be, and indeed I am a priestess, which will be represented by the same actual face. Now I think the player should actually come in and game player, okay. The game player comes in and says, let's see what they say. What should they say? Are you my challenger for this round? Alright, and let's actually show a game player dot request balloon 1. Okay, let's add a comment. Everything that comes after this symbol is basically a comment, and usually I note what the balloons actually mean. Alright, are you my challenger for this round? Okay, let's actually make face 0. I should actually add two more faces to this character, and you know, they actually should have some kind of a more normal face, because for some reason this is too frowned, looks a bit awestruck or dumb, and this I don't know if it's actually what I would call a normal face, but okay. Are you my challenger for this round? And this one actually comes with game map dot event 796. Okay, wait, request balloon, and the balloon will be 3. Okay, indeed I'll be. And they will have phase number 1 because they are somewhat happy. Okay, now before this one, every time you create a script, everything in that script is gonna be done at the same time. So if you have waiting functions, don't ever put more than one wait functions in the same script, because they're both, or all of them, are gonna be triggered at the same time. If you want separate things to trigger with a break, always put a waiting script in a separate script box. Okay, like for example in this case, the character will say this, and actually let's use this again, shall we? Actually no, not in here. True. Okay, this one. Okay, she will be happy, she will have her eyes closed in happiness, just like in this situation, in this one. Okay, she will have face index 1, yes. Okay, she will show heart above her head. Actually, I don't know if I should actually add this dot wait 1 frame for the step animation false to make sure that it actually triggers. Okay, so actually why not start doing this, because I just want to make sure. And actually add it with the whole space option as well, and the more spaces I actually have at the same time, it's gonna be a bit easier for me to read. Step animation false, yes. Step animation false. Okay, now we also have, in this one I already have a set wait mode, so therefore I don't need to add another one. Yes. Stepping animation false, add this dot wait. Okay, stepping animation false, this dot wait, to be sure that it's actually gonna do that, instead of putting it on the waiting line and, you know, triggering it at a certain time, because I might actually find my characters are still doing the stepping animation when they should actually not be doing that. JavaScript can, well, actually JavaScript is very quirky as a programming language, but if you get to understand a few of its quirks, then, well, it's much better. Okay. Stepping animation false. Okay. Request balloon. This way I'm making sure that the balloons will also trigger actually when they need. The order of the things in the script box isn't necessary because they will all trigger. Play, request, set wait mode, we have a wait mode already. Play sound, event, request balloon. Okay, let's add this one in here. Okay, false, we have set wait mode. Yes, false. Okay, good. False. Okay, set wait mode 1 frame to be sure that it's gonna be used. Yes, I know I have a habit of adding a lot of quotes because my game is gonna be primarily a it's gonna be primarily how can I call it? Oh yes, it's gonna be a visual novel primarily, yes. And it will have, at least this chapter that I'm working on, it will actually have a RPG accent. On the contrary, I really dislike the aspect of grinding and having the players sink so much time in grinding and such. This is not a full-fledged game, so grinding will also be relevant. And, well, one reason why I kind of dislike putting is because I want the person to actually experience the game, not necessarily, you know, playing it and instead of finishing it in the 2 hours that they should, spend 10 hours to grind for the stuff and, you know, like, lie themselves that they actually enjoy the game. Whoever wants to grind, I'm most likely not gonna be the perfect person for that. Okay, I'm not really interested in having people grind because it doesn't serve my purposes. My purposes is to help people understand more about themselves. Okay, we have set wait mode, yes. Okay, and set balloon here. We have a set wait mode. If you have, for example, this and you do something like this, the script will actually trigger both of these at the same time. So it's not gonna wait 90 frames and then another frame, which would mean 1.5 seconds. it's just gonna wait the most. Okay, it's gonna do both waitings, or you can put 6 waits at the same time. It's gonna count through all of those, and it's gonna take into account the lengthiest of one. If you want to, have more of these, okay, just put them in a separate script. Set wait modes, yes, okay. The second character, set wait mode. Request balloon. Let's actually put it in here. Okay, this is exclamation, so that I don't forget, and even if I forget, at least I remind myself easily. Set wait mode. This one, request balloon, it's exclamation mark, semicolon just for the good practice. Okay, you know what, just do this already, because I don't want to spend too much time on all these ideas. There are so many things to arrange in my game, and this one is not as important. I mean, yes, it is important because I'm actually handling the moments when they actually trigger. Okay, this one actually has a set wait mode. Okay, just for the good practice. Okay, and I also am interested in learning to become less serious in life, because I put a lot of seriousness in everything, and it would be it would be good for me to understand that not everything requires an equal amount of seriousness. Okay, now let's add this. Well, an extra space is not needed because the okay, set wait mode, it has already one. Player balloon, set wait mode. Okay, good. Now let's actually, oh okay, my other video is actually uploaded, which is actually a very good thing. I will watch this video at a later time. Now fingers crossed, I need to apply these changes. My project is now so huge on this map that occasionally I might suffer crashes, because this map actually has all 999 slots occupied, and it actually jumps from 6% CPU usage to 33% CPU usage whenever it saves, and that's actually quite a risk, because if the saving is not done successfully, all the process that I have been working towards can actually be how can I call this? Oh yes, lost. It happened to me many times before. And as I was saying, let's add this wait as well. And indeed I'll be okay. If that won't mind you, that is. Okay, and we switch back to 0. Now the player comes in and says, okay, there is no such need for a balloon animation. Okay, actually a balloon, because it's different than animation. I really won't. Okay, and it's gonna be face index 1, and then they will actually say, I'm actually looking for a good challenge. I'm actually expecting a good challenge. Okay, and wait a minute, there is something I apparently forgot. Indeed I'll be okay, and this one in here, remove this and add this dot remove face. Okay, now apart from game design, I also take in requests for video game testing, and providing in-depth information about those and possible introductions. I actually have a few videos on my account about that as well, and I usually, as a deep diver, go deep into all the possible aspects that I can experience in the game. So feel free to come up with such requests if you ever feel the need to, and if you're looking for someone who can dive deeper than most other people. Although I'm not guaranteeing that I will be, you know, like fully introspective. Okay, I'm actually expecting a good challenge. Leave actually index 0, because for some reason this character doesn't have, you know, some kind of serious faces, or a face that doesn't look dumb, or, you know, one way or another. Okay, just leave it like that. Okay, I'm actually expecting a real challenge. I'm actually expecting a good challenge. Okay, let's see what we have. We will have game player dot request balloon 3, because they will actually want to look, you know, hard. They want to look polite. Okay, and Ferengi is a character that is quite polite and to a certain extent noble. Alright, now the character will reply, but actually before their reply I will create another script in which actually let's copy this part, because I don't want to spend too much time overwriting and writing each and everything. Request balloon 3, because she also shows a heart. Okay, let's actually note it here as a heart. Oh wait, this dot wait 1 frame, so that I'm sure, wait, actually not this dot wait, this dot set wait mode balloon, because I want this balloon animation to complete before it proceeds to the next part, in which okay, she says then you shall have it, then he shall have it. Okay, and face index will be 1 again. Okay, and now she's actually represented by animation 214. Okay, then you shall have it. Okay, good. So it will be game map dot event 796, which is the event request animation 214. This dot set wait mode animation. Okay, and she will play this animation, and of course once she plays this animation 214. Okay, actually let's take this one and put it in here. It's gonna be much better. Actually, why not take this one, delete this script, delete this wait, and put it in here. Okay, what was animation 214? I have to look in my list. It's okay, it's white healing foam. Actually, I've been calling it foam all along. Let's actually call it a fog, because it's almost like a fog. Okay, these new animations belong to a set that actually gave me dozens of animations, which I put into the game through different aspects. I'm not gonna get into the animation tab because the game seems to crash every time I do that. It's because my project is very complex. Okay, now to go in here, let's actually jump by events. This event is until here, this event is until here, and this event is until here. I don't know if they actually show any kind of... Okay, they have a different animation, of course. Nope, at least in here the male warrior, definitely they they show off in here. I want the game to also have an anime feel as well, so you know the characters will have a kind of little animation before they start. And game map event will be this animation. And didn't I actually make an animation for the player? Oh yes, request animation 120. Let's actually take this one and put it in here as well. Oh wait, 120 is the last animation in the game, which is glowing light. Okay, I'll have to see how it works. I'll just have to see how it works. Oh, okay, I actually have to put, let's put a comment in here, add battle BGM, because I haven't put one yet. And we were actually in here where the player will actually perform this. Okay, glowing light. It should be something like game player dot step anime equals true. Okay, this dot wait, this dot wait actually 20 frames. Yes, this one will be a different one. This one should be a different script actually, because this will be it as well. Now this dot set wait mode animation, okay, because it's gonna be just like in anime. Okay, this one I'm gonna copy in here, and this one is triggered to false, and we have only one because we want to make sure it actually casts. And let's actually see, I have some quotes over here for male. Okay, let's actually take this one.
Bring it on! Bring it on!
Bring it on!
Bring it on! Bring it on! Bring it on! Bring it on!
So alright, probably the voices of the characters won't sound the same each and everywhere, but at least I'm still experiencing with the I'm still experiencing with the scripts. For the moment I will actually write the code, and when I will actually write the code I will just copy paste them in there. Okay, how I'll do that and how I'll do the plugin, well, that's a thing for another day. Okay, so in order to play a sound we need to create an object which I will call sound as usual, and this one has some parameters which are file name. Now the file name will actually be the same exact name of the file in here, so it's 10 villain male e from English 1002, and the string because it's a string, meaning a text. File name, then we have volume which I set to 90. This is something to be mingled with later on. Pitch I decided to be 110, and the pan is 0 because it has to be heard equally in both ears. Okay, then we use audio manager, which is in objects in the files that actually handles the playing sounds, and we have the function called play se because it's a sound environmental, and we put the object we have created in. The object in here has to be loaded in something in order to be played. This is basically the script that you have to use for an object, and it has these properties called file name, and you have to write the name only of the file in parentheses. You have to write then the volume, pitch and pan that you choose for it, and then you use audio manager play sound. Okay, and here you have SE if it's from the sound environmental folder, ME if it's from the music environmental, BGS if it's from BGS, and BGM if it's from BGM. Make sure you write the name correctly. Usually what I would do, actually I've met some errors in which if I write the name after this one, it's not gonna appear correctly, or it's not gonna be correctly taken into account. So I simply look for it in here, choose rename, I copy the name, and then I actually paste it in here. Now I'm perfectly sure I wrote the name correctly. Okay, then what I also do is, just as a reminder, bring it on to remind me what the quote actually means. And no more hearts, it's enough. Okay, and just like the plugin suggests, clear gab at the end of each gab files to remove the gabs from memory so that you can actually use them again. Okay, now if player chooses Sindora, which is the last character, a healer mage, let's call it something like that, let's actually choose this one from the beginning with her quote line, as well as the player's one, and actually stick it in here. Now let's see, she will also again face this one, use this one. Okay, it's a female and she's a nice looking elf, so she will show actually a heart because she's no longer as intimidating as Ferengi. Let's say she will actually show the same giggle. Okay, and okay, yes, this dot remove face, good. And then this 7 and silence, this isn't needed. Oh wait, I should actually be removing it from this part as well, because oh wait, this is separate. Where did I put that? Okay, in here. Nope. In here, this one is not needed because I have set weight mode in here. I mean, it's not wrong, but you know, I don't need to wait functions. Okay, so we have this, we have set weight mode, and now we actually need to be looking for Sindora. Okay, we actually need to copy paste the name and, you know, put it into here, and we actually need to load her picture. Actually, use this one. This is a character I have created. Okay, she's a bit of a scaredy cat to a certain extent. Yes, she's very frightful. She gets easily scared and distracted. That's how her race actually works. Her race is different from the previous elf that you may have seen. Actually, I have 3 female elves in the party, but they are, aside from the protagonist, these 3 characters, they are not going to be available except this particular situation, which I chose to just to add more complexity to the game. Alright. Okay, actually let's add the third face, which is this one with the eyes closed. Okay, actually let it like this. No, let it actually as it was with the silence. Okay. Now the character will actually react surprised. Request balloon 1, and it's actually gonna be question mark this dot set wait mode balloon, because they're actually gonna show a question mark before the player's character will act again and say okay. um, okay, so for the moment this one will actually remain as 3, but in this case it's actually gonna be 0 because she was daydreaming. Let's say she was daydreaming and she's surprised that she's suddenly, taken into account by someone. And we have this one, we have actually exclamation mark, yes. This dot wait 1 frame because I don't need to wait for the exclamation mark necessarily. Okay. I've been daydreaming. Guess I've been daydreaming again. And actually heart. Okay. 7 and silence for the other character to show. And then I've been daydreaming again. And now the player actually presents herself. Okay, sorry for not seeing you here. Okay, it's gonna be phase 4. This one will actually, the other character will actually react with a heart. Alright, and sorry for not seeing you there. They are actually not here. Alright. And then we're gonna have a final quote for the character. Oh, and indeed, I'm a mage, and she will use phase 0 as well. Alright. Okay. No more of this. Actually, no more of this. Okay. Show Gab. Now, just to practice the script commands as well, it's gonna be game map.event796. Alright. Dot request balloon 3. Okay. Dollar game map dot event 796. Okay. Dot step anime equals true, and we have this dot set wait wait, what? This dot wait 20 frames. Okay, leave a blank space in here. Okay, it's heart. Okay. Then we have another one in which we have $game map dot event 796 dot step anime equals false. Okay, this dot wait 1 frame, so that I'm sure it actually does this instead of waiting for it, you know, for another time. One thing I have to actually correct is the character actually has this color instead. Sindora actually uses a mauve or indigo, actually more of a violet color or something like that. And just to make sure, let's actually take a look. Yes, 31 as I said. Okay, so she uses 31, so we actually have to correct it in here. 20 is the color of the previous character, and when I copy pasted I almost forgot to change that. Usually I almost forget things, just like JavaScript. I let it for another time because, well, that's how things should be. Woo! Finally, some water never hurts. Now let's see. We have the wait, Sindora. Okay, oh yes, she actually has 4 quotes in a line, and then this character comes here and says, indeed you're a funny one, and some like this. And then we actually have this, because I don't want to be looking for the event again. Okay, we add this one, and then we add it again. We remove that, and we add the script this dot remove face. Now I think this video is actually good because you'll be learning some scripts to use by heart. Okay, did you're a funny one, and again she will be using this one. Now these and these go again in here. We're gonna use this dot wait 90 frames because wait, what? This dot wait 90 frames because she will actually wait a bit before her next quote. Actually, let's put in here 0. She becomes a bit more serious. Step animation, and yes, it could be also another way of putting things. Care to duel me now? Okay, care to duel me now? Okay, she asks, and of course her facial feature will be 0. Alright, care to duel me now? This character is a bit more emotional, so let's actually use any of these sounds that I have. Nope. Okay, let's actually use 7, because I'm not gonna use Japanese quotes for the player characters, only for I will actually have a choice for the player to choose in between English and Japanese quotes, because I have quotes for both, but those will only be used during the duel, not in between, not for the intros, because the intros I don't have quotes for those, most of those. Like, I can actually make the intros use only quote lines that I have, you know, voiced quote lines that I have, but let's actually not focus too much on that. Alright, so we have this one, and let's see what scripts we should actually use. So first of all, we have game player dot step anime equals true. This dot wait 20 frames. Yes, okay. Then we copy paste this one, and here it should be false because the step only needs 20 frames to be done. Basically the cycle of stepping, which is 3 steps, left foot, left leg stepping, no stepping and right leg stepping animations, these are actually taking place in a whole second. This wait 20 frames in between stepping animation on and off is something I intuitively felt. Okay, so we have this one. Okay, we have game player request balloon 7. Okay, let's see, did I actually write it correctly? Nope. I also have a sense of self-correction, so yes. Request balloon 7. Well, if I have the slightest mistake, the game will be kind to remind me. Request balloon. Okay. Alright, actually let's have this dot set wait mode balloon just to be sure for this, and this is no longer needed. Okay, let's shake the screen a bit. Game screen dot start